Welcome to the Amazing Authorities Podcast, where game changers, visionaries, and category leaders share how they built their brands, platforms, and global influence. Your host is Mitch Carson, international speaker, media strategist, and creator of the Instant Authority System. If you're ready to learn from those who've done it and want to become the go-to expert in your space, you're in the right place.
Welcome to the Amazing Authorities Podcast. Today's guest hails from Australia. His name actually isn't Evelyn, as it's written in the bottom down there. He's Rodney Bull, but his partner's name is Evelyn, and he's using her computer today. But as you can see, Rodney's got the bull horns behind him, so his name is real. This is not a Hollywood name. This is an Australian one. Rodney, welcome to the show.
Morning, Mitch. Thanks, mate. Love the intro.
Yeah, well,
up my skirt, mate.
Yeah, you're here.
And yeah, bull by name, bull by nature for sure.
Bull by name, bull by nature. Rodney, if you haven't met him yet in person, and you will at some point, I'm sure, because he's a character and he's going global, is very stout, strong built Australian man from the outback. Yeah, if you look up Australian man in the dictionary or on Wikipedia online, there's Rodney's face with the hat in earnest. And he's got pet kangaroos in the backyard, I guarantee it, and wombats all around him. But let's dig in, Rodney. You work a hard job, and I think you've come to a point, based on what I know about you, is like you want more out of life. You work a hard, respectable job during the day, but you've taken control. You've taken the reins on the bull to change your life for the better. Tell us about what you do currently and what you are doing now with your podcast.
Yeah, Mitch, you hit the nail on the head there, mate, for sure. I will currently work as an operator on big machinery in an open cut coal mine in central Queensland, Australia. Been doing that for a lot of years, mate. Been doing mining and working in the bush, cattle stations and agricultural farming, all of that sorts, open cut mining, underground mining. So I've done a lot of different fields of work, many jack of all trades and master of none, but definitely want more out of life, mate, like have had a discovery in recent times. In the last 4 or 5 years, I've been on a real journey, big time, of self-education and self-discovery, and realizing just how big a play in our lives that our financial system has over our lives, and what it dictates terms on how we choose to do what we do.
Oh, 100%. And you've realized that it isn't a paycheck. In the event that something happens and life serves us, sorry, American metaphor, it's called a curveball that is thrown in baseball. I know you guys don't. Do you play that there? That.
No, well, we use that same terminology.
Okay, yeah. So it's the metaphor of the curveball. It changes as it's thrown at you because of the spin that's there, and that's why they call it a curveball, because it literally curves in the air. So you're swinging the bat and you miss.
Yeah, like we say the same thing along the lines of planning for a rainy day, mate, because it's not if you have a rainy day, it's when one comes.
Yeah, well, and when I'll say it, the shit hits the fan, you better be prepared. Yeah, because it'll hit you. So you have to be prepared, and I would liken that to you taking control and educating yourself, you said, over the last 4 or 5 years, to be in control of Rodney Bull's life and your family.
Yeah, for sure, mate, for sure. Yeah, like I had a real awakening. I think a lot of the world did through when all the COVID rubbish came into our lives and into our reality. I was always very skeptical about many things in the world and the system at large around us, but that was a big awakening for me. So, and then thankfully it helped me stumble across some amazing people and educators who I have grasped onto and taken on board as mentors for me to get myself educated about money and the financial system.
Well, that's smart. I mean, and then we met at a workshop, an 8-day workshop here in Thailand, and we learned that you want to become, and you are, a podcaster now. And you've got the Rodney Bull Show that
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that is in full swing, and I know that you're going to be interviewing me as one of your guests. And tell me what you're going to share with your listeners in this show.
Just more than anything, trying to share the enlightenment and the education that I have gained myself in recent years, mate, and throughout my whole life, life experience in general. Hitting 50 years of age now, so starting to get a few runs under my belt.
Okay.
And been through a few things, been through some good times and some hard times, as everybody has, depending on your age, I guess. But want to share what have learned and plan to continue to learn. I want to be able to reach out and help people, hold them by the hand and take them along this journey with me, mate, so that we can all march out through on the right side of this money matrix system that's been built around us, mate.
Now, you advised me, I think a couple weeks ago, you said, Mitch, I don't know if you own any gold or silver, but it'll be a good time to buy. And right after you said that, it soared. Now, I don't know how you're tied in, if you are part of the psychic network, if you're an undercover billionaire that owns a gold mine, or what your story is, but you were spot on, man. How did you discover that?
From belief in it, mate, and from people that I have been listening to and learning from for the last 5+ years now. And, them people have been in the space and they've been studying it for, some of them people, for over 50 years, Mitch, and studying the current system, but they've studied back 400-500 years and even further than that, some of them, and gold and silver is God's money, mate. It's been here since the beginning of time and it'll be here at the end of time. And it's been money for the human species on planet Earth for over 5,000 years, mate. So you can't go wrong with that sort of history behind it.
No, I like that. And what is your thought on crypto?
It's a new version of money. Some of it, unfortunately, like a lot of things in life, a lot of it is a scam, Ponzi schemes, which ultimately our fiat current money system that runs our world currently is ultimately a generational Ponzi scheme, which I plan to teach people about and share.
So
that
that's what
knowledge
you'll
with.
go through in your podcast, is explaining a lot of these currency systems and what to look for and what to embrace, or what the
Yeah, mate, for sure. Like you said, in the crypto space, there's many different types of cryptos. Most common one people would know and have heard anything about is Bitcoin,
Yes.
and it's the granddaddy of them all. But it's totally different to all other cryptos that are out there, mate, because it's free and open source network and so it's fully decentralized. Nobody owns it, nobody controls it, except for everybody who participates in it. And the more people who participate in it, the stronger that system gets. And currently, it is the strongest computing network system on the planet.
It is. And I have a friend who suggested I get into it, and he was a wealthy guy already. He bought 20,000 shares of it when it was less than $1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I did the computation. He's literally a billionaire because of that holding. I haven't talked to him lately. We ran into each other at a seminar a few years back. It was before the pandemic, and it was going up and down during that time. But it since says it's very expensive, each share of it. So I think he's pretty wealthy today.
Yeah. And it'll only ever, like gold and silver and Bitcoin, it will only ever keep going up, Mitch. Whilst ever we live under a fiat currency system, because they just never stop printing more of it, mate. So the value of them scarce commodities and monies as such as gold and silver and Bitcoin are, they will only forever go up in value.
Well, that's fantastic. And so on your show, are you going to bring in guests? Is this just you maybe discussing what you've learned? What's the format?
No, I definitely plan to bring in people as guests and to interview, mate, and to bring way more knowledge than I can share into the space, and people that I currently have listened to and learned from and have as mentors. But from time to time, I will do like some solo podcasting on it as well.
That's very smart. And
mix
how
it up a bit.
important, Rodney, is mindset with all this? I mean, what shifted in you? Something happened with you 4 or 5 years ago, e.g. the COVID pandemic.
Yeah, mate. Mindset is everything, and it's something that I continue to work on every day, without a doubt. You don't realize the mindset that you are in until you discover some new knowledge and new information about things, and actually open yourself up to the possibility of beliefs that you've held to be true throughout
Mhm.
your life, actually most likely very aren't true. And that mindset shift comes with that. And so then that leads you off down another tangent, down another path, to start questioning things and develop a better, stronger mindset around the way that you perceive life and things such as the financial system that are built around us and control our lives.
I believe I'm exactly where I've allowed myself to be in life. I'm
Yeah,
responsible for this. Now, some circumstances happened. I certainly had a reset during the pandemic because I was in the live events business, traveling
yeah,
quite a bit, and that all had to change. Now it's a hybrid. It's virtual slash live. We met at a live in-person event because I have to be very careful how I define it. It's live
yeah.
in person. There are live virtual events today, which really weren't around before the pandemic, but that whole network changed.
No.
I mean, we're recording on Zoom today, which exploded during the pandemic because people
Oh, it's a massive
consumed.
change, isn't it, in the
Yeah.
world? You know, it never used to exist 5 years ago, and look at it now. Like it's the space now.
What is Rodney Bull's routine? How do you keep yourself on track to be successful and to keep charging forward like a bull?
um, Listening and learning to, like, I'm a huge consumer of podcasts myself,
Uh-huh.
mate. You know, it's a fantastic platform. Surprised me, you know, like how to actually really realize that. I remember hearing about podcasts years ago, but didn't think anything of them, you know, didn't even look into them. And, you know, they've been around for 15 or 18 years or something now, you know, like, so taking on board information in that aspect, audiobooks, reading, and surrounding myself with good, positive people more and more all the time. You know, so
Got it.
trying to make sure that I'm not the smartest person in the room.
Well,
And
that matters, is surround yourself with people that are of like-mindedness and moving forward. I mean, this is great. So the Rodney Bull Show is your podcast where you're learning about the raw, the real, from an Australian man that has been working a man's job, a hard job, and now you're learning about more. And are you taking people on that journey with you so they can improve their lives?
yeah, mate, yeah, for sure. You know, like trying to share it with my family and my children, friends and work colleagues. You know, like every week at work, I have conversations with different people that I work with. You know, a lot of people at the mines and a lot of people from different walks of life. And more so, I find myself having these conversations with people, and it just reinforces to me how little people know about this space, you know. And I was one of them people not such a short time ago, you know. Um, and if you get feelings of like thinking that you don't know enough to be able to share with people, because of the people I listen to and learn and have learnt from and have keep as mentors and educators and teachers, they know so much more than me, you know. But when I go and talk to people who I work with who are just everyday Joes, just like I am, mate, you know, like it makes you realize just how much knowledge I have gained and how much I do have to be able to share with people to help bring people up, you know.
Got it. Got it. Well, Rodney, you've been a great guest today. Where can they find more about the Rodney Bull Show?
Well, as you know, I'm only just getting started, Mitch. So they're building a website and things at the moment for the Rodney Bull Show. And also have another platform called Rebel Edge, which I'm developing which will have courses in it for people to get the education they need to be able to learn the truth about money and real health and wealth and freedom and building legacy, mate.
That's great. Well, Rodney, you've been a great guest today. Thank you so much. All the best. and I wish the success of the Rodney Bull Show, winning awards in the upcoming year. Thank you for your time today.
Awesome, Mitch. Appreciate it, mate. And I'll be on most socials as well. G'day, everyone. It's my pleasure and privilege to present to you here today for my very first podcast, Mitch Carson. This man is an experienced speaker and seminar promoter, and he's been gracing television shows and stages and podcast airways for quite some time. So I'd like to please welcome into our podcast today and see what Mitch has got to tell us. Welcome, Mitch.
Hey, thanks for having me on the Rodney Bull Show. I'm excited about sharing ideas and I love the bullhorn behind you. Bullhorns behind you. You got two of them, not one horn, two horns. That's great. And you got the real hat.
Yeah. Funny you should say that, mate. When I was a young fella catching bulls years ago, up in Cape York, very far end of northern Queensland in Australia. Very first bulls that I ever caught. He was an old one horn bull with a broken leg. And
geez.
Where he was standing under a tree and we were riding around on horses because we were catching off a horseback. And we galloped up to him and because he had a broken leg, he didn't really run away or anything. He started to trot off a little bit and then just stopped, So the boys that I was catching with, I was only a trainee at the time and they sealed me onto him and said, go and get him. And I jumped off the horse and ran up behind him, took him cheap and grabbed a hold of his tail because that's what you do. You get up behind him and get a wrap on the tail and you throw him down like that. And I ran up beside him and the bastard kicked out with his good leg and kicked me fair in the shin and just sat me fair on me backside.
Oh, man. How big are these animals?
Oh, anywhere from, 700-800 kilos up to a ton. They're big boys. They're big boys. Big boys. So yeah, I learned a valuable lesson that day, even if something looks easy to take advantage of, that you could easily get kicked in the shin and put on your ass.
Well, and I guess that's what happened. And he didn't turn around and hit you with his one good horn, did he?
No, he had to go at me. But thankfully he couldn't run real fast with a broken leg, so I managed to get out of his way pretty quick.
So you literally wrestled a bull?
Yeah, mate, that's what I did for a number of years when I was a young fella. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And so you were operating with your true namesake, Rodney Bull.
I was a bull catching bulls.
Oh my God. I thought that was just your name, but that's a reality as part of you. My gosh. That's fantastic.
Yeah, no, it was a good part of my life, mate. Really good part of my life. Fond memories, Fond memories. Very, very big adrenaline rush, Very, very big.
I can imagine it. I can picture it, but I can't imagine doing it because I know they have the bull runs in Spain every year.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. I don't get it, but okay, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, no, it was a good learning curve, mate. It was a good learning curve. Don't take things cheap, definitely. Pay attention to your environment before you just bounce on in. So Mitch, mate, I'd like to just roll on into this if we can to start with.
Sure.
Get a bit of feedback from you. Can you start off by telling us a bit about yourself and what you reckon makes a difference from you to the rest of the people in this industry, mate?
Yeah, I've had a long career in media. I have touched every platform, from direct mail, door-to-door selling. Sales and marketing have been my career in various capacities, different platforms, let's call it mediums. I've touched direct mail, copywriting were the early years. In fact, I wrote a book on called The Silent Salesman, MEN, which was a bestseller and also was translated into German some years back, which positioned me as an expert in that category. Before that, I was a pitchman on a channel called Home Shopping Network in the United States, where I sold other people's products on live TV with 5 million viewers. That was quite the experience. The best way for people to relate to that is Amazon, or not Amazon. Well, Amazon's got its own live too, but Facebook Live today, people sell, you'll see mostly women selling clothes. Other people sell electronics or something.
Oh
They're
yeah, yeah,
doing that live casting, and that the platform changed, but the mechanism is still the same. You're out there pitching products and the benefits for them to sell it. And I did that, which was a great vehicle to get super comfortable on camera, super comfortable talking and referring to benefits of buying said product, and then moving on to the next product and having conversations. It was great storytelling, story selling. And then I had a radio show on 97.1 in Los Angeles, CBS Radio, where I had about 40,000 daily viewers or listeners, not viewers, where there was no visual component back then. This was listeners only in Los Angeles, where I come from. Originally, now
Yep.
I live in Thailand, but back then I'm from LA. And then I created infomercials. And then I have a TV show today that airs on NBC Channel 3 called The Amazing Authorities. So I've had a deep background and also been in the speaking business for most of my life, traveling to 63 countries, presenting on various stages around the world. So I've had a very long, I would say, rich career.
Yeah, yeah. There's plenty involved in that, Mitch, by the sounds of it, mate. You know, no shortage of experiences there. For bloody sure. Would you say that social media sites an essential part of branding game today? And which ones do you think are the most effective to help build one's personal brand?
At one time, I would have said it's a fad and it's going away. Today, I've completely flipped 180 degrees. And if you're not using and utilizing social media for your niche where your clients exist, you're missing out. And I don't think there are too many people that would deny that, because it took a while for me to absorb and accept the fact that social media is not going away. You got to embrace it. So for me in my market, since my market is largely made up of speakers, authors, coaches, and consultants, podcast hosts, people who are in that, which is an extension of radio today, LinkedIn is critical. LinkedIn is my biggest audience of clients.
Okay.
They live there on LinkedIn. Instagram can't be ignored either. I'm not embracing TikTok like some people are, but some people swear by it. Some people swear by the importance of TikTok, and it's more than dancing young girls shaking their booties. It's a comprehensive social media platform today. Facebook tends to gear more towards people that are a little bit younger than you, all the way through my age group. I'm 65, and I think my age group certainly embraces Facebook as a platform for advertising. When I sell conferences, I advertise on Facebook. I get my best return on ad spend using Facebook ads. So I know where my audience exists. TikTok, probably not. Maybe in some cases, Pinterest. It tends to be more female skewed in the United States, specifically in that market.
Okay.
But I certainly, and the biggest for me in terms of credibility is YouTube.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, and my podcast is not, I wouldn't call it social media. I call it a platform for me to connect. The Amazing Authorities podcast, which you've been a guest on. I use that, and then I use that content and then distribute it amongst my social media to further the reach. So I think it's been a social media. I don't know how I would live without it today. And I look forward to looking at some of those dancing videos. Wink, wink.
I've seen your dancing style, mate. It's pretty impressive. Yeah, no, thanks for that, Mitch. I really agree as far as the social media goes, mate. For me, it's a big learning space. I nearly went 50 years without having anything to do with social media other than seeing my kids utilize it, you know.
Sure.
I was not interested in it at all or didn't understand it, but now getting into the podcasting space and wanting to get my message out there and share knowledge and education with people, I don't see how you could achieve any of that without making the most of all of them really prevalent social media platforms that are out there to put yourself out there and get that exposure.
Oh, you need it. I mean, there's also Reddit. If you could get yourself positioned well on Reddit, there's Quora. There's so many, but I think the biggies are X, which is Twitter. That's
Yep.
there. Facebook is obviously huge. YouTube is huge. Instagram, which is an extension of Twitter. Those are the biggies, and then there's several that are specific to the niche that you are operating in. I mean, you can certainly blog to your audience. Podcasting is. I couldn't imagine why I waited so long. Is
Yeah.
beyond me. It was a stubborn move. Like, oh wow, it's it's fantastic. I wish I'd done it years ago.
Yeah, you and me both, mate. But I guess I wasn't in the space to really get on board with it back
We're
then.
here now. We're doing
I
it.
didn't understand it, but it's definitely they've stolen so much reach away from mainstream media. Just unbelievable how much of the world has moved across into that space now. Hey.
Oh yeah, it's huge, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, fully sure. So what do you reckon are some of the top strategies that you could use for getting featured in major media outlets?
Yeah, I'll share this. It's a fantastic question, Rodney, and I love answering it. One, it's easier than you think. I'll say this because they need content, always fresh content. And the best way to gain attention, to grab attention, is to write a book.
Yep.
And if you've written a book about your category in your niche, you're going to stand out because it's your own thumbprint. Nobody's written your exact book unless you both use ChatGPT and write it. And it's the same, but it's unlikely. You're going to have different outputs. And it's a book is newsworthy because remember, they're looking for something new and something that their audience will want to see on TV or want to hear on a podcast or want to hear on a radio show or read about in a print/online publication. Physical print has been dying, but reading online has not. In fact, it has grown. So if you can submit something that people will want to read, I prefer oftentimes to read. Sometimes I listen, sometimes I watch. I embrace all the platforms. So in order to connect, you've got to understand what the audience wants. So think about what the audience wants. Number one, a book is easiest to do it. Second would be talking about anything today related to AI, artificial intelligence. That's the current buzzword environment. An example, I produced the very first ChatGPT conference in the world 2.5, almost 3 years ago in Las Vegas when ChatGPT had just come out. Yeah, I had 563 people attend my event. It was a 2-day event.
Awesome, Mitch. Well done, mate.
I was the first one. I had a partner. I've got to give credit. His name was Terrence McMahon. He came up with the idea. We were going to co-produce. I know the event space very well. We were going to co-produce an event on how to get on TEDx stages because my background as a speaker. He said, Mitch, we got to do that later. We got to do something in ChatGPT. It's amazing. And I looked at it, read about it an hour. I said, you're right. We're shifting. And in 4 days, we filled the event with 563 people.
Oh, awesome.
Printed money. We made so much money right out of the gate. Then I produced 4 events on that topic. So it was newsworthy, so much so that Fox came and interviewed me, Fox TV, which is one of the big news channels in Las Vegas. They came to the show, came to the event and interviewed me on the stage. ABC News came and interviewed me on the stage because it was newsworthy. Because you've got to be interesting. Remember this. This is the key. Interesting for the news to be interested in you.
Yep.
Be interesting. We had also written a book on the topic very quickly. Writing a book separates you and credentializes you immediately. I know Rodney the Bull has to write a book. We'll talk about that at some point. But it's important.
Well, I've actually done a chapter in a collaboration book just recently.
Good.
It hasn't
Okay,
come
good.
out yet, but it will be coming out in the not too distant future. So, yeah, I definitely have got on board with doing that and realizing how important that is as one platform to put yourself out there. It's like a business card as such, I guess.
Yeah, it's the very first step. What you referred to is a collaboration, which is a technical term is an anthology. You write a chapter, 1,000, 1,500 words, and you're one of the multiple stories in there. That's a great stepping stone to then, of course, write your own book. An easy way to write your own book next is you, as a podcast host, are going to have 20 interviews.
Yep.
You create your own anthology then. You would have all of those interviews transcribed, and you've got a book. And then you can talk about these experts, and then that would allow you to become newsworthy. You could
Yes.
write about and tell, man, I've learned so much from, I learned this from Mitch. I learned this from Pat. I learned this from David. I learned this from Karen. I learned this from XYZ. All of those people inside, and you're the author of that book.
Yep.
That then makes you newsworthy because you're interesting. You've written a book. Auto-magically, you're interesting.
It's a bloody good word, isn't it?
Yes, I just invented it, and it's profound what it'll do for you. For me, when I wrote a book, I felt I deserved because
Yep.
I had done what most people don't do. A lot of people go to college. There's a smaller percentage of people who complete college, and even a smaller percentage that write a book. So I think it's important to write a book. And the other part of how you get into media is, I mentioned you got to be interesting to be interested. So they're interested is in a current topic like AI. You can use a media calendar, like what's going on. Like you have Australia Day, you may have back to school, you might have Christmas, something related to the timeliness of the year will garner attention when you approach a publication, albeit
Okay.
TV station, radio show, or television show, or
Yep.
podcast host. Let's say you had something related to the time of year in Australia. I don't know all of your holidays. And someone approached you and said, Rodney, I want to be on your show because upcoming is Australia Day. And I have a product that's related to Australia Day, and I've created these beautiful charms for Australian nationals. It would be more local. People in Singapore wouldn't necessarily be a good guest during that time, but during the Australia Days month, you could do that. Or Mother's Day month, you could have this. And the other,
Okay. Yep.
the other that I want to mention is the importance of paying specific attention to the audience, understanding the audience. If you come in with golf clubs, you've got the greatest golf club for left-handed golfers, and everybody is a right-handed golfer, you've missed the mark.
Yeah.
So it's got to be related to the audience. Or if you're selling bras and panties and the market is all male, you're going to miss the mark.
Yeah.
So you've got to be
You're going to be speaking into a void as such, I guess, in that space.
Exactly.
If you're doing
exactly.
that. Yeah.
So those are some of the techniques. I mean, there are more, but that about covers it. What it takes is understand who you're talking to, use timeliness, and you're piggybacking on the current news cycle.
Yep. No, makes sense, mate. Really does. Just one more before we wrap up. In your opinion, what are the key traits you reckon of highly successful public speakers, Mitch? For me, trying to be somebody first moving into the space,
Oh, yeah, I'm happy to share that.
Aspiring to go somewhere with it.
First, be prepared. So preparation is key. Is know what you're talking about. Have your let's assume you have your speech detailed. In order to get booked as a speaker, I tell people this a lot. Have the media behind you. Have a show. You have the Rodney Bull Show. Make sure that you're on television. You very soon will be on NBC television in America.
Okay.
So you'll have that credential there behind you. You'll have the logo of my show. You've got to have that and be prepared. Actors, rehearse their lines. When you are a speaker, you are in the media. It's a different, you're performing. Don't come out and wing it. I don't wing it. I've been speaking my whole life, my professional life. I prepare before I take the stage. I make sure everything, be a professional. Don't wing it. And that will come out. And because you generally have one shot with a promoter, you have one shot with an audience. If you get invited back, you did a great job. If you don't get invited back, you better look at what you did so you can improve it and prepare and plan and take it, be as serious as possible about every opportunity and record your opportunities so you can go back and look at it and improve. So those are some of the tips. I mean, I could go into so much more detail, but if you want to be a professional speaker, then be a professional speaker. Do what it takes to be a professional and have a reel of all of your speaking engagements. And if you're just starting out, you start small and you present and you go. Embrace TEDx as a possibility. That might be a course of action. You know, you can also look at going into organizations like Agora Speakers or Toastmasters, and you sharpen your skills. It's a muscle. Keep it strong, flexed, and use it.
Yep. No, excellent, mate. Thanks for that, eh? That's some real valuable information right there. Well, Mitch, I can't thank you enough for your time today, mate, coming on to my brand new podcast, The Rodney Bull Show. Appreciate your unique experience and perspective on the media industry, mate, because it's invaluable to somebody like me, and where it can help me and many others to understand how to present ourselves in this space. I can highly recommend your podcast, the Amazing Authorities podcast, mate. I've listened to many of them episodes so far.
I appreciate it.
You've done a fantastic job, mate, and have had some really, really good guests on your program. It's a real pleasure to listen to. And it's all available on Spotify and most other major streaming platforms, I believe.
Yes, and Apple.
Yep. Is there anything else, Mitch, that you'd like to leave for my audience today, mate, before we wrap up?
Take the bull by the horns in your life and just keep moving forward. Yeah, you got to control that direction or you're going to get gored.
Yeah, copy, mate. Step to the left so you don't get kicked in the shin, eh?
That's it.
All right, good stuff, mate. Thanks for your time again today, eh? And I look forward to talking to you again soon, Colin.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Amazing Authorities Podcast. If today's episode inspired you, take a moment to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It helps more experts like you rise to the top. For behind-the-scenes access and free resources to boost your authority, head to mitchcarson.com. Until next time, stay amazing.